The following tip is literally essential to make your actual passive vocabulary turn into active vocabulary. Hi everybody, 大家好, I'm John and I live in Shanghai. Today I want to make a video about tips for advanced Mandarin learning. I couldn't find anything online that was really like a comprehensive source of information. So today I just want to give you from my own experience what I think are some really important things to consider. Also, 我当下学习的语言就是普通话，于是在这部影片当中，我打算一半用中文，一半用英文来沟通。And 请记住，这些技巧和方法可以套用在学习上和语言上面。但是我马上提及到的 APP 和软件，对哪些学习汉语的学习者格外有用啊。So my first tip is you have to start doing extensive reading. Extensive reading is really just reading without stopping, without worrying about every single word, and instead using context and the words around it essentially to figure out the overall meaning without stopping. And I know that's really hard, especially when you've gone through like the beginning and the intermediate stage where you kind of have to stop and have to remind yourself. 为了保持一定的阅读节奏，我强烈推荐那些还没开始用自己目前在学习的语言看书的学习者，一开始只应该看非小说的阅读资料。为什么呢？这些写小说的作家最大的目标是让每个小说里面的场景尽量生动。他们怎么实现这个目标呢？就是会用那些在日常生活当中非有用的词汇和形容词来有效的描述每个小说里面的人物和场景的背景。So really the way to get past this problem is to really, when you start, to read only nonfiction books. Now, if you're going to read nonfiction, you can actually buy the paperback version and read it. There's usually, in my experience, no problem with understanding. Of course, you can't look up the words that you don't know, but if you really want to read fiction, that leads into my next tip, which is really only reading nonfiction in an electronic format or 电子书. This section really only applies to Mandarin or maybe Japanese learners, but when you are reading fiction or even really advanced nonfiction, the following tip is literally essential to your success. 我非要你把 Placo 这个 APP 上传到你手机上面，我不仅仅想强迫你开始使用这个 APP 来学习，我还有觉得其实这个软件是必不可少的。对我来说，最有用的性能就是软件里面可买的功能叫做 Document Reader. 使用这个功能的话，你可以把电子书上传到软件里面以后，就可以直接一边看书，一边把哪些就是不懂的词汇点开，就可以查看英文的意思。So Placo is like so famous for Mandarin learners, but this feature alone is literally game-changing. It is literally the only reason that I could go at HSK 5 and read a full fiction novel in Mandarin, which really pushed me forward and really got me over a huge plateau in my language journey. And so I highly suggest you start to use Placo and specifically this feature so that wherever you are, if you're on the bus, if you're at home, if you're on your bed, you can just go on your phone and start reading as much as possible. So I think anyone that has ever learned a language has heard of Anki and spaced repetition systems and their importance in language learning, but I really just wanted to share with you my own method of using Anki after getting to a higher level in Chinese, where I'm not just using it for character recognition, to make your actual passive vocabulary turn into active vocabulary that when you need to use, you are able to call upon it immediately without thinking so much and so hard. And also, I want to do a video on watching TV and using TV to learn language. So if you're actually interested in a video like that, you can like this video and subscribe, leave a comment and tell me what you think about a video idea like that, and leave any comment about any type of tips you have for advanced language learning, okay? 我背单词上面的秘诀不在于你在复习按记卡的过程当中 反而在于你已经完成了一轮复习的时期以后，复习以后，你要在电脑上打开一个空文档，然后你需要就是把那些刚刚复习完的生词记下来。我们的希望就是把这些新单词给落进我们的长期记忆中。你先要试试看，才能意识到有多少东西你没有记住了。I'm not saying mindless grinding is bad. It's absolutely necessary for when you're first trying to recognize the characters. But I swear, if you add this process into your study routine, you'll find these new words stick in your mind for an entire day, or 2 days, or 3 days, and it'll be so much easier for you to pull them out when you need to. So my next tip is about using Himalaya to find really good material that is both suitable for our level and also that is about more niche topics that we might not have the chance to talk about or hear about in everyday life, and it will allow you to expose yourself to those vocabulary words and be able to use them later in your conversations with your friends. 我已经知道了好多人会赞美喜马拉雅的有用性，但是我就是想给大家提醒一下听力的重要性。不管你中文水平多高还是低，你都要找到哪些比较适合你目前水平的资料，如此你能够就是更加接触到哪些你在日常生活当中接触不到的词汇，还是哪些在电视剧上比较少用的词。这个就是喜马拉雅的优势所在，你能够就是筛选那些相关的资料，然后找到哪些比较引起你的兴趣的资料而开始听。但是我还是觉得好多人像以前的我一样，在找到比较适合自己的资料上面会遭遇相同的困难。你确实要趁着每个机会多听你的目标语言，无论是在上班的路上还是在课间，每时每刻的语言接触都至关重要。So I'll leave a list of my favorite Himalaya podcasts below, and if you like them, you can leave a comment and tell me what you think. So after watching this video, I hope you have a better idea about maybe some study tactics and things that you can implement to your own study plan to make it more effective and help you to get over that plateau in learning. And if you like this video or want to see other content, please let me know in the comments below, okay? Peace.